Hello everyone, today we going to look at the next episode of the movie. As you can see that there were so many thing had happened at episode 1. So let not waiting long, we going to watch together. This episode, the story begin with Junja. She told Hajin that the clergyman gave him 3 billion won, which is equivalent to 2.5 million US dollars, that if she live when she about to die. But the lawyer said she should not accept that. And Junja still argues that if it is true, she will leave the children, but if she does not die, she will have money and she will no longer be difficult. And everyone just has to wait and see. And the story came to the lawyer Jean, who has arrived home immediately blamed his mother because the story of smoking all night in general, his mother is sick and smoking. And they also told some life story. And on Junja's side, she could not sleep, she cried alone, she did not know how to do. And also Jin Soo has watched Youngja video but do not know what he is thinking. And the next day, when he arrived at the police station, a group of arrowheads called to find out about the postmaster, and he was really angry who had given his phone number to that group. Then his partner took the report and he was even angrier because it showed that it was not the people who did it, it was a monster. At that time, Hajin called Hoon to tell Junja about Junja, and Hoon went to Jin Soo to follow up on this case and ask why his new social group has so much money. In fact, their group is so rich, not poor, and also repeatedly said to Mr. Hoon because he does not believe in their religion. And then the lawyers came just in time, so they all went into Junja's house and talked about some of the agreements and the law of justice, because the agreement has to be made legally. But inside this agreement Jin Soo was not taking it seriously because he believed that Junja would really die. But when they asked about this place, Ms. Junja's child came out and blamed Jin Soo for why she had to go to hell. She is really a good and loving mother. But he did not swear at his mouth, so his mother went inside immediately. Then she cried and told everyone to help keep her child safe after she died. After that, Jin Soo's partner came, and before they left they told the lawyer that the new world was coming soon and the lawyer should not wonder why the bad guys were destined to die like this. Then he left and disappeared. The lawyer also said that if Junja died, the 2 children would be sent to Canada to live with her cousin. And after that on Dong-wook's side, they also spread on social media, and they told the news that will be available soon by the live broadcast of the murder of the bad guys. And again, these would mean that you have to spend for these processes. But we came to know a little bit about the man who revealed the identity of Junja's son and daughter. And that guy is Mr. Joe. After that, Mr. Hoon came home, so he went to his daughter, but his daughter said that she would take the exam tomorrow and asked to sleep outside for a day. So he did not dare to argue about what his daughter had told. In fact, Hee-yoon, she came to Jin Soo's house. At that time, she also told Jin Soo about her mother's death, and she was very sorry to Jin Soo because she thought he was the one who killed her mother. But Jin Soo also comforted her that we will create a new world where no one is evil or harmed. After that, on Mr. Hoon's side, he has been receiving messages from lawyers because social media is shocked about Junja and her children. And the Mr. Hoon hurried to pick up Junja's son and daughter to the plane, but also contacted his co-worker Joe, but he did not know that his partner is a traitor. Mr. Joe was really mad that Mr. Hoon should not know about this. At this side, Dong-wook, he also showed pictures of Junja and children for the public to know, and he also showed bruises on her hands, which he explained that because she had 2 children with a different husband like this, that why she should go to hell. She tried to steal and kill your husband to get insurance money. After that, he ordered the religious group to arrest the 2 children to accuse their mother. But lawyer Hajin immediately picked up the 3 and rode to a traffic light where passengers nearby began to look at the lawyer's car with a suspicious look. On the Jin Soo side, he brought Hee-yoon to see the murderer who killed her mother and saw that he had been released from prison. After that we saw that, on this side, the lawyer arrived at the airport immediately. She took the children to the staff to take to the plane, but on the way, a man has saw the children. But it's okay, they already got on the plane, but then they got a little lost. But it's not a problem for them. After that the older brother brought his sister to sit together but they was scared and began to cry a little. On this side, Mr. Hoon arrived and the lawyer also said that the children had left and the mother started to cry because she could not hug her children for the last time and she missed them so much. After that, we go in to look at Jin Soo. He persuaded Hee-yoon to hate her mother's murderer and Hee-yoon covered the murderer's nose and pushed him into the box of fire and began to burn him. Then Hee-yoon laughed with the pain she has been hiding for a long time. You all think that the killer is bad or Hee-yoon is a bad person? After that in the morning, journalists and police arrived to find the body of a man who had been cremated. It looked really scary. And on Hoon's side, he was called by his boss to see the news that the killer who had killed his wife had been burned to death. And Hoon's boss looked so unhappy because the recent cases seemed so bizarre. And after that we came to see Dong-wook's live again. but this time they did not talk about the interpretation of the murderer who killed the wife of a police officer, and moreover, they were not satisfied with the rescue of the murderer by medical examination. And is it true that the killer is said to have no intention? Everything is from the effects of drugs? He also said that the only solution for punishing the wicked is God. After that they also show Ms. Junja to admit her guilt because there is only one day left. After that, a large group of religious people protested in front of Young Ja's house. Lawyer Hajin also went to comfort Young Ja to make her be strong because they will always support him. Later that day, Hajin also came to ask her friend who was a lawyer, his name is Mr. Park, and Mr. Park is really begging because all the media and Young Ja live video. After that on Hoon's side, he also asked the security guards in the area where the killer lived to look for clues. Later, he went to Hee Young but could not be reached. Suddenly some idiot threw a stone at everyone, and within seconds the hippies, armed with light weapons, jumped come and cut and kick it all at once. These guys really don't know what the law could do to them. And the next day, on the road everywhere, there are no people, it looked like a ghost town. It's because people have come to the location where Junja going to live broadcast. A little later, the rich people who believe in society, in fact, wore masks and came to sit with confidence. And Miss Junja came out with a really pale face, and Mr. Hoon and Mr. Joe also arrived with injuries. He later told his partner, however, that it was necessary to save Ms. Young Ja's life, and it was time for the organizers to evict everyone. Then they start to play the alarm that sounded like water trucks and tell everyone it was the time that about to go down.
10, 8, 7, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.